Okay. You're ready? Okay, sure. Sanibona khona phela bakhasi, welcome to another exciting episode of The Talk with Obee. Feriyazo hlezi Mobility Mkhabela. And today fantastic kodwa kayi ngiphethe a beautiful young exciting lady who hails from Miss Tembisa Finalist, and she's a finalist to one of the biggest pageants Miss Tembisa. With that, we sit down there. Please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, follow me on my personal pages, which is Obee the journalist Mkhabela, on Facebook, on Instagram, on the page it's Obee Pictures, on Instagram I've got the pages where it's Obee Pictures Photography. So welcome to season 2 and welcome to this episode.
Hi everyone.
Yes. So so let me say the microphone.
Okay.
The invisible microphone.
Okay.
Introduce Utubani and who do we have today on the show? Please greet our people. Please greet each and every viewer. Hello.
Hello viewers. I'm honored to be here. My name is Mahlako Machaba. I'm 19 years old and I'm studying LLB at the University of South Africa. I'm from S2E26 section and I'm currently a Miss Tembisa 2021 finalist.
Yes, finalist. Also, one finalist. We are yes. So, we usually do this. The normal way, the general way, but for that, we have to so punya spacing and sit to twist up and si twist also today was chair that what can create who you are. You want to know the person behind this beauty face. You want to know who's Mahlako and so the primary primary
Okay. I started my primary school Mashimo primary school, which is here Mashimo, and then from grade 1 to grade 5, and then from grade 5 I moved to Royal Christian Academy, which was next to where I stayed, S2E26 section. And in my high school, I went to Ama Foundation Learning Institute, which is located Osmose section. So, yeah, that's me. And also, I'm a twin sister. I have a twin sister, guys. Yes, that's where I went. So I moved from doing Swahili as my home language to doing Afrikaans, Royal Christian Academy, and also Ama Foundation Learning Institute.
So, just briefly, how was it growing up in like a Christian school? Were you, are you guys Christians, or Christian was something that you came to like discover at schooling?
Okay, so Royal Christian Academy was not a Christian school per se. It's just a name. It was the name of a school, but yes, at home we are Christians. I grew up in a Christian home. Both my parents are Christians, proudly, and yeah, we believe in God. I was taught, whatever situation I face in life, I put it in prayer. So yeah, nice. We pray Ekaya. Nice. Yes.
That's lovely. I mean, God first, right?
God first, and everything else will come after.
So, as you mentioned, you've got a twin sister.
Yes.
I didn't even imagine
Imagine another beauty who looks like. Okay, unfortunately, we don't look alike.
We
don't look alike.
Man, but I'm sure while you were like still like kids, you did look alike.
A bit, because back then she was a bit thinner or slender like myself. So when we grew up, that's where we look different. Because she's a bit thicker than me. She's also darker.
I think that's the thing with twins. When they grow up, then they start to like distinguish between like low body because of the physical kind of changes and details. And
we also like different things as well. Like we do different hairstyles. I have short hair. She has long hair. So we are two different people.
So what made you to like chop your hair? Is it go to Kulena?
No, I always had long hair, and then it's African hair, guys. So when I got to grade 10, I chopped it off because it stopped growing, you know. And yeah, and I also know how to plait hair. So when I chopped my hair off, I started plaiting my sister's hair. For me, I was consoling myself, you know. Okay, let me take care of her hair, because I don't have hair, you know. So yes, that's and then ever since from grade 10, I was 15, I think, until now, I've always had short hair.
So what's the struggle with short hair? I mean, I've seen people struggle with short hair. I've seen people struggle with like long hair and stuff. So what's the struggle when it comes to like hair? My struggle is watching it every day. Like, you need to maintain short hair. Unlike relaxed long hair, you can always moisturize it and then, you know, you're good to go. But with short hair, like sprinyana, you know, so what I do is I have to make sure that I wash it every day and then I moisturize. I also spray it sometimes. And then I style it a bit, and I have to keep it up to date. At least after 2 weeks I should like get a haircut. So yeah, just imagine if I don't have enough money. So those are my struggles. But I love my natural hair. Yeah,
otherwise, yes.
So we're gonna get much into like the pageant world and stuff. Okay. But I just have this question in mind. What's your take on pageants that going to adopt the idea or the style of Bawini Sabantu because they have like shorter hair or the short hair or isn't it?
Oh, interesting question. Well, I don't know if we still have pageants that focus on certain beauty standards, but beauty pageants have evolved, I must say, and they now focus on empowering young women to become leaders, to participate in community works and projects. So for me, I don't think it's okay for us to find a woman who has certain beauty standards in order for them to be a beauty queen. Because being a beauty queen is about you know, the type of person that you are and what you're capable of doing, or what contributions are you bringing to your community. It's all about you. So my opinion about beauty pageants who still go after my beauty standards, no man, they need to, you know, they need to change that. It's 2021, yes. So we are all about the brains, guys.
Number one. So I've already touched on some few highlights of your life, like I said, you're a twin.
Yes.
Personally, I've always wished to like have like
a twin.
No, not literally have a twin myself, but like give birth to like twins. You know, my twins. Like for me, the idea of having someone who's a twin near me, like it's kind of like it's like oh, as it is young cars, man. Like it's the one having the words are not even coming right. But here's one thing. What are the myths which you like ukule wears around the thing of like with twin or like I'm a twin or like what as twins mixed with into Swana or if maybe angazi, like there's a lot of myths it's cool level. Me personally I had with but you can feel whatever your twin is feeling, but literally because I had friends who were twins and they said no such thing exists. What are some of the myths that you like kind of grew up hearing about you being a twin or twins in general?
The one that you mentioned about feeling with your twin is sad or happy, yeah, that's a myth. I don't, for me, we went to different schools, so I wouldn't say I would feel when she's unhappy if she's away from me. And yeah, for me, okay, my parents made sure that they separate us even from a young age. Okay, yes, we used to like wear the same clothes, but they never taught us to always be together. Like, so with me, for me, I grew up in a more positive environment in terms of how my relationship was with my sister. So they were motivating us to be individuals, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So it helped us in a way, because even now I can do things without, you know, not considering her, but I don't have to worry. But okay, my sister is elsewhere. I know that I have my own life, but at the end of the day, I do love Hashem. And being a twin is nice, guys. Yo, very nice, like very nice. Yes, we have bad days. We do argue. We used to argue a lot when we were younger. Maybe that's because we couldn't understand each other. Cause hey, man. But yeah, as we grow, relationships improve, you know. So yeah, now we are the best. Like, she's my best friend.
What are some of the things that you could say maybe you used to fight about, or some of the things that you used to do together? Yeah?
We would fight about who has to wash the dishes, like who has to cook, and my mom would always say, okay, draw up a timetable, and then maybe Mondays are for me, Tuesdays we would never. So we only practice that now because we are young adults. We are like, okay, now I see why it's necessary to have a timetable, so that I know it's okay, Monday I do ABC, you know, we exchange. But back then it was really, so if I feel like cooking, I should cook. If I don't feel like cooking, she will cook. So yeah, we would fight about that. We would fight about our clothes as well. We had issues. We used to wear the same clothes until I can't say gained weight, but when we went to high school, obviously body changes, puberty, adolescent, so she weighed more than me. And then sometimes she would wear my clothes. I would get so mad. Like, why wear my clothes? Guys, I was a size 28 back then, and I think she was a size 30 or 32. Yeah. Now she's a size 34, and I'm between 30 and 32. So yeah, I would get mad. She would wear my jeans, they would get stretched. Yo. Worst nightmare. So from, I think, grade 10, we stopped like buying the same clothes. Sometimes we do buy the same clothes for, you know, if we like the same thing, we would buy it. But we've divided our wardrobe. Like, these are my stuff, these are yours. Please. Don't hide. Yeah.
Oh man, it sounds so much interesting, you know, like having these basically, here's another thing that I want to ask about too, is sometimes we want to do things together, sometimes we don't want to do things together. Did you have that tendency or that thing of, if she goes to the show, I want to go there? If we don't go to did you have that bond, like as kids, or is it something you already developed along the way, or into your thing, you know? What was the relationship in that case?
Interesting question. So when we were growing up, we used to have that thing. It was okay if I go to the shop, but not shop, maybe mall, because the shop is just, you know, around the corner. But yeah, we would want to go to places together because we were kids. But things became different when we changed schools. So okay, while we were growing up, we found out that my sister is autistic, so she had to change schools and go to a special school. So that's where individuality came in, and then we just became different people. But it was sad for me because I was used to having her around, going to the same school, same transport. Everything literally changed, but I got used to it. But sometimes I miss it, but now we do practice. Like if I go to the mall, I would say, let's go out, it's a date, you know, the sister date.
Sister date, yeah.
Yeah, but we get over things like that. You get used to life, you adapt.
Apart with the relationship that you had with your sister, obviously, it still continues, but you personally, how would you rate your upbringing? Like, how would you rate your childhood? Was it a good childhood from your side of things?
Very good. Very good. Like, I have very loving parents, very supportive. I grew up, my parents always show a united front. I've never seen my parents fight, guys. I don't know how that was possible. Yes, there are silly arguments there and there, but I've never seen my parents fight. We grew up in a healthy environment, and I also have a younger brother who's autistic as well. So it's very important to always maintain a good environment, like an environment where there are no conflicts. So they always maintain that, and my childhood was the best. It was at home. If you're talking about home, it was the best childhood. I miss being a child, because when you grow up, hey, responsibilities and stuff, but I had a great childhood. Yeah, my parents are the best. I'm so blessed. I also have an older brother, so yeah. So we are 4 incomplete.
Because also about us, how many are you?
How many are we? We are 4. So my sister and I, we are second borns. And then my younger brother is the last one.
Do you guys get to argue with you about man?
Yes, we would do that when we were younger. Like, okay, another disadvantage of being a twin is that people get to compare you a lot. Yeah, like, so I'm a bit taller than her. So people would say I'm the oldest, I'm the oldest. So it was like, ooh, yeah, I'm the sister, you should respect me. Yeah, but no, I asked my mother who was born first, and then she said it was my sister who was born first. And okay, I was like, okay, she's the oldest. But now I've accepted that umam cool and umam ngani. Yeah.
But literally what I hear is Opumakala, she's the youngest, and then Opumakala is the oldest. Literally is okay. This is how they explain it to me.
Yes.
If we walk into a room, bungena mina kuqala bese ungena wena after. See me the way singena ngakhona. Bese bathi phumani. Uzophuma bani kuqala?
Uzophuma lo ngene after.
Which means uzophuma wena ngithi ungena after me.
Yeah.
So if uphuma kuqala, which means mina ngizophuma ugcineni.
Yes.
Literally yimi ngene kuqala yithi. Which means yimi udala. So but
okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, but then, how do you now, you as Mahlako alone, try to maneuver the space of your primary, getting to high school now? Because we are cool and you're cool and you're true.
Yes.
And you're not going to the very same schools.
Yes.
For sure, you're having different friends.
Obviously.
At some point, obviously, because you're into like 2 different environments as well.
Yes. Yes, we went to different schools. Growing up, okay, especially high school, that's where our relationship was not as close. Yeah, you know, things changed definitely in high school. And I had my own friends, she had her own friends. But, okay, my friends would constantly visit, like Ekaya. And then they got used to her. She doesn't talk as much as I do, guys. She's like but when she sees my friends or cousins, she's very reserved. Yeah, and if I go out with my friends, I invite her over. But the funny thing is, okay, I know she has her own friends at school, but I've never met them. I've met only one, but except she's a very private person.
Meet and greet type of situations?
No, I've never. Yeah, with her friends, no. She's a very private person. Like.
So, which high school did you went to?
I'm a foundation.
Learning
institute.
So, you being a teenager in the school, how was it for you? I mean, like the life, trying to, try to focus on the career, like Obee, which I'm about to finish with school and become the career, and. No, just that anxiety of waiting, what's next for me?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
I'll go to matric just to first
out.
Yeah, matric was very challenging, very stressful as well, because I did 8 subjects instead of 7 to increase my chances of passing matric, obviously, and my APS score. Very challenging.
Because automatically they don't count it.
Yeah, they wouldn't count it. Also, I was like, okay, let me just do 8 subjects to be on the same.
Move,
Very smart. And everyone, in fact, at school did 8. Okay, some students, it was an option, but they were making sure that most of us did 8 subjects so that we could increase chances of passing matric.
So you guys doing 8 subjects? What can you name those? Can you name them?
Okay, so I did. It's English, Afrikaans, and all maths, with mathematics, and I did physics, history, life sciences, and geography. So it's 8 subjects.
Okay.
So it was very time consuming. I had to
Which one was your most favorite?
Life sciences, definitely life sciences. Very informative, especially in matric. Yeah, grade 12 life sciences is the best. I enjoyed life. Even the lessons. Yeah, in life science was my favorite. My classmates knew that. My teachers knew that. Yeah, I loved life sciences.
What did you want to do after your matric? Because now
okay. Very interesting question. I didn't actually know what I wanted to do. My mind was all over the place. I was applying for engineering, I was applying for pharmacy, bachelor in pharmacy, like I was all over the place. But I remember, my brother was helping me with the applications, and I told him that I wanted to do law. Okay, I wasn't sure. But I was like, hey, let me apply for law. Then he was like, no, don't apply for law. He discouraged me into applying for law, and I did not. So in January, like all the universities rejected me. So guys, it's very important to take school very seriously, because the only subject that sabotaged me was mathematics. So yeah, I was trying so hard to balance everything. I neglected it, and at the end of the day it cost me. So yeah, I took a gap year last year. So I did my matric in 2019.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so
I did.
During COVID,
yeah, it's COVID-19, I'm at home, but it was a bit depressing because most of my friends were at varsity and I'm at home, worried about my future. But it also gave me time to meditate, to search myself, to search Mahlako, who am I? Yes, yeah. And I was also searching for careers online. Yeah, I was interested in doing teaching as well, but I was like, let me go for law, let me go for law. Yeah. And yeah, I also rewrote my maths, and then fortunately enough, I passed, and yeah, universities accepted me.
Perfect, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So currently, you mentioned that you're doing your LLB.
Yes.
How's the journey so far, man? You need to higher learning institutions. I mean, it's different from high school.
It's different.
And someone who has never been there before will say there's not much difference. You just have to figure this out. But you are actually literally there. Can you maybe just balance us with the journey and the environment for you? How did you come to adjust into it and stuff here?
Okay, in matric, we always say matric is difficult. I don't think matric is difficult. It just needs you to focus. Leave out your friends, peer pressure, monadi,
There's a lot of stuff to do at a very short time.
Yeah, it's a very short time, because immediately after your preliminary exams, you jump into final examinations. So now that I'm I'm an undergraduate, student, not a graduate. I'm an undergraduate student. Yeah, the environment is very different. With UNISA, it's online. Everything is done online. I submit my assignments online. So you need to be very disciplined. You need to be able to manage your time.
Focus.
Yeah, you need to study a lot. Law requires someone who studies a lot. You need to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, if you are for monadi, if you're guys, forget.
Yeah.
Yes, there are people who are able to balance, They would just trick us into, So with last year, I was rewriting maths, so I wasn't really that busy. So transitioning into, now I'm an undergraduate student, it was like, okay, I have a lot of work to do. I need to work. Work. And yeah, I taught myself how to be disciplined.
Speaking of discipline, our viewers are saying the search that you're wearing.
Yes.
And speaking of discipline, I think you need to have discipline to be able to be at least one of the finalists.
Yes.
Or to say I'm going to enter for this pageant.
Yes.
Take us through the journey. How did you hear about Miss Tembisa? How did it come about?
So
what's the story there?
My story there. So when I was in high school, I would hear we also have Miss Face of Tembisa and we have Miss Tembisa. and Miss Tembisa is the biggest pageant. Oh, Mama, one day I want to enter Miss Tembisa. So it was just, you know, I was just saying it in jail. So, like, my parents didn't think I was serious about entering pageants. So they will just say, she's bluffing, you know.
That you just say.
And then last year, because it was COVID, I was like, no, I don't think they will have a pageant this year, and they did. And I was like, okay, let me wait for 2021. Let me prepare myself, you know, because you need to imagine this is my first pageant. So I had to prepare myself and say, okay, fine, why am I doing this? Why did I enter this pageant? And I saw the poster on Facebook, and then I started following their pages, and I became more interested. And I've seen how other, you know, winners, past winners have evolved in becoming, you know, influential women in our community. So I was like, I want to be part of a legacy of those women, you know. I was inspired, and I wanted to be part of the legacy, simply, yes. So that's how I entered Miss Tembisa. I did not tell my parents. So I just saw the poster, I took the number, I was like, let me take my chances. And they sent an SMS and said, okay, come to our first meeting, you're a semi-finalist. And I was like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm in. I'm party inside. And I remember after going to my first meeting, I came back home and I was like, Mom, I showed her the pictures. She was very shocked, like, Vele, you were serious about entering Miss Tembisa, and I'm like, yes, and I'm doing this. And yeah, I've learned a lot. It's very important to create relationships with the people that you're contesting with. I still communicate with some of the semi-finalists who did not make it to the top 12. So yeah, it's an amazing journey. I've learned a lot. I'm not the same Mahlako who entered in February. Like, I'm a whole different woman right now.
Let's just unpack it when you say when you say you've learned a lot. Let's just break it down to what exactly have you learned throughout this journey. I mean, we're going to be crowning very soon. And we're trying to understand what is it that we have came to learn from the pageant, or being part of the pageant, and being like, this is a journey now. And let's just break it down to what exactly have you came to learn. It's like by the end of the year, what is it that you have learned exactly? So let's just break it down to.
So okay, before I break it down, so Miss Tembisa is aimed at empowering young women to be leaders in their communities. So it means we take part in community projects, we serve the community. So for me, I've always wanted to give back to my community, but I never knew how. So I was like, okay, this is the right platform. You know, we're practicing how to serve the community. And I've also done group projects. It has allowed me to be able to know how to be a team player. Like, I've improved how to work in a group. I don't know if I make sense. So it also helped me. And then we also attend workshops, you know, financial workshops, like, oh my god, Chalete guys, you know. And we also did a mental health awareness challenge, project or challenge, I don't know how to call it. So they divided us into groups. I learned a lot, and mental health is a topic that people don't talk about. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay, so we're discussing topics like this.
Seeing some of the stats just about 2 or 3 days ago. South Africa is number 2 on the list of people who commit suicide, and mental issues is one of the reasons why people commit suicide. So briefly on your take, what would be your take on mental issues actually, or mental illness?
Okay, I think we need more campaigns or organizations that would raise awareness about mental health, especially in schools, because, you know, yes, there are people who suffer or who suffer from mental health illnesses in high school. It's not only adults. Also, teenagers also go through that. So it has to be a topic that people feel comfortable talking about. Yeah, the negative stigma around mental health has to somehow be, you know, I don't know if I make sense. So my take on that, let's have more organizations that raise awareness about mental health. Let's go back to our kids, like from primary school, high school, and motivate adults to come out. People are afraid to come out and say, I have a problem, I'm depressed. I've suffered depression and anxiety last year. You know, being at home, I was comparing myself too much with my peers, like, so, but I was able to say, okay, I have a problem, you know, and I need help. So we have online lines that offer free counseling, like through telephonic, you know, and it helped me because sometimes you're afraid to speak one-on-one with a social worker. So it helped me to, you know, cope with my anxiety and depression. So people need to speak out. We should encourage people to speak out.
So what will be your specific intentions with the brand now that you are in, you're a finalist and you're about to plan? And I was checking some of the tours there on the voting sites.
Yes,
So what are your direct intentions actually with the brand?
With the brand. So I'm advocating for girl empowerment, and I'm busy. I'm like, guys. So my goal is to empower young girls at the Love of God Disability Foundation to realize their full potential. We discuss topics like self-love, you know, self-belief, self-confidence, and self-awareness. So I want to help these young girls to, you know, to believe in themselves and know that their circumstances do not define them. And secondly, I also run a sanitary drive. So my campaign is called #ShareTheDignity campaign. So we're donating, we're distributing toiletries and sanitary pads to the Love of God Disability Foundation. So my aim is to end period poverty. Like, I want to end the negative stigma around periods. Girls are still afraid to talk about periods. Like, there's this negative stigma. Like, when I was in high school, even in our classroom, people would be afraid to say, okay, I'm on my period. So with ending period poverty, I want girls to not skip school just because they're on their period. I want a girl child to be able to say, okay, I'm on my period, but I have pads available so I can go to school. Because if a girl skips, getting an education is part of empowering the girl child, right? So I don't want the girl child to skip school mainly because they are on their periods.
Yeah, and they have to go and do what they have to do, like on daily basis, like those small important things. If you have to go to the mall, you have to
go to the mall,
go jogging, you have to wherever that you have to go and whatever they have to do. So I have to ask you this question: who inspires you in life? Because I mean, you're saying yourself you want to inspire young girls, but you yourself, you must be having someone who kind of like inspires you. Whenever like you're down, you look up and discuss like,
I'm like, I think of this person. My mother is definitely my role model.
Interesting. Yes.
She's definitely my role model. She knows herself. She knows what she stands up for. She doesn't do things that do not align with her values. She taught me how to love myself regardless of how I look or what other people say about me. Even when I feel down, I just think of whenever I think of her, I get inspired immediately. I'm like, okay, that woman is a hard worker. Like, why am I sulking? Get up and work, you know? Like, my mom is my true inspiration. She's very loving. And I love how she handles herself under pressure. She's very resilient. So those are one of the qualities that I've acquired from her or learned. Like, she's taught me resilience. And it has also helped me with, as a Miss Tembisa finalist, being resilient is very important. You go through a lot. You need to be mentally prepared. So if you're not strong, you'll break. So she's my. She's my inspiration.
I'm trying to imagine you being a shy girl in primary and trying to build your confidence through the time of high school and now entering the first pageant of this magnitude, and you shifting to a space of a pageant and it's the first pageant, and you have to do the practice style, the walks, the talks, and you stand and care yourself.
How you engage with people.
How was that for you, man? Like,
Yo, I'm talkative, I'm outspoken, but you know, when we tell people who are outspoken, people are shy. They think we're lying. I was very shy, maybe because I was bullied a lot back in primary. So going into high school, it was also very difficult for me to make friends because I was like, at the back of my mind, I was like, girls are so bad, like they're so mean, you know. Yeah, I had like very few friends, and my close friends were in other schools, in high school, so we went to different schools. That's why it was very difficult for me to make friends. So entering Miss Tembisa, I had to get out of my comfort zone. I had to get out of my comfort zone and be like, okay, I'm in this, because you know, sometimes they will take us to places where we have to speak in front of people. So if I'm shy, that's not going to help me. If I want to be a leader, I should be able to stand in front of people and say ABC, even if it's, you know. So for me, it was a huge transition, but it also helped me grow as a young adult. And yeah, now I'm no longer shy. I'm like, I'm going for this. I'm very happy I entered Miss Tembisa. It helped me a lot. Yeah, in terms of my confidence as well, in terms of building my self-esteem. So yeah, I went from a shy, talkative girl to a confident, talkative girl.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. So what would you love to share with our viewers before we come to the end of this episode? Like, what are your last words should you like share with our viewers? And please just also share with us where you see yourself in the space of time.
Where do I see myself?
Yes.
In the space of time.
Yeah, in the space of time, like.
In the future. In the future.
Yeah.
Okay. My goal is to enter other bigger pageants. I believe that I'm capable. The Miss Tembisa pageant has taught me a lot. I'm well trained, and my end goal is to be Miss South Africa. Wow. So in 5 years time, guys, and I also want to graduate. May God help me, but I also want to graduate and get my LLB degree and get into the professional, you know, industry. And yeah, so my short-term goal is to win Miss Tembisa, guys. So I'm currently leading with the votes, and please, I would like people to follow me on Instagram and Facebook under Mahlako Machaba. Yeah, and like my pictures as well under the Miss Tembisa Pageant page.
Interesting. But I guess you've got a lot from her, and you got to understand between Ubali. I didn't know to share the twin, but today I do know this thing. So as we come to wrap it up, this is how I would love you to just close the show for us.
Okay.
We had an exciting episode, and please subscribe, please like, please follow us, please invite your friends to love the show, like the show, subscribe to the show. Basically, it does that.
So Babugeli Ekaya, this was an interesting episode. I'm honored to be here. Please like, subscribe, and also share the link with your friends so that they could watch this video. Yeah.
That's how we do it out here. I'm Obee Mkhabela. It's Mahlako Machaba. Perfection, Santiago Makaya. Please vote for it. Please follow us. Please hit us on our YouTube, on the social pages. Check us out on the show. If there's a guy, if there's a lady, they can tell. Please holler us on the social pages, on the links between, in the comments, invite them to the show. Bam! Welcome to season 2, and this is how we end this episode. Share the link with you first.
It was an honor being here.
Yes.
I enjoyed the interview, the conversation. Yeah, it wasn't an interview, it was a conversation. It was a conversation. Yes, let's just say it was a conversation. I enjoyed it, I had fun, and Yes, guys.
Interesting. I
Interesting.
didn't get to ask two personal or two different questions, right?
No, not at all. I'm very happy with the questions that you asked. They're focused on me. At the end of the day, it's about Mahlako Machaba. You know, yeah.
Nice. So, would you definitely invite someone to the show to come and tell the story, or refer someone to figures like us?
I would refer people to subscribe, to like your videos as well, to be part of the family, and yeah, I would tell people about your show. If anyone wants to come, definitely I'll reach out.
Perfect. Wafethu Niswele does it such as Miss Tembisa. I call her Miss Tembisa already, but she's Miss Tembisa the Finalist.
Okay.
So I'm just sharing you the rest of the channel context.
Okay.
And you can just click the link, follow us there.